dark chocolate brandy.
Okay, representing Kohler Dark Chocolate Brandy, please make a warm welcome for Business Manager Gerald Ellison. Gerald Ellison.
Good morning, everybody. I want to start by asking a question. Judges, audience, by show of hands, how many of you are familiar with Kohler Company? Okay, so
with the bathroom company?
Absolutely. So a number of hands went up in the room. I'm going to make the connection here. We're most notably known for kitchen and bath and our plumbing products. So it begs the question of why would Kohler Company get involved in the spirits business? It doesn't seem to make any sense. The opposite is quite true. It actually makes complete sense. Kohler Company is a company that was built on pioneering ingenuity and bringing great design to life. A fun fact that I like to share is our first bathtub was actually a mistake. So the founder, John Michael Kohler, took a hog scalder, enameled it, put legs on it, and then sold his first bathtub for a cow and 14 chickens. The point is this. If you know Kohler Company, you know that everything we do is built on a guiding principle of a single level of quality. And that's from our kitchen and bath products to our 5-star hotel and resort, championship golf courses, award-winning chocolates, and then, of course, our newest creation, dark chocolate brandy. So when we started out in this project, we knew that whatever we did needed to be distinctive. And we found that it made sense to leverage our expertise and our experience in our handcrafted artisanal chocolates. After a lot of trial and error, and I stress a lot of trial and error, we learned that the combination of brandy and dark chocolate just worked wonderfully together. So what we ended up with was the product that you have in front of you today. It's a 2-year aged California brandy that we naturally infuse with a 72% premium dark chocolate. And then we have a secondary product called our chocolate mint brandy, which is the same California brandy, the same natural infusion process, the same premium 72% dark chocolate, but then we enhance it by adding all natural peppermint extract. So what I want to do is I want to pause here for a second and take this a little bit different of a direction. Something that we're very proud of in Kohler is having the ability to create what we like to call extraordinary moments or experiences for our customers or our guests. Herb Kohler refers to it as raising your standard of gracious living. So a lot of times I get asked the question, well, this product is great, but what can I do with it? So what I want to ask the judges is for you to walk with me a second here, and take you through an experiential sensory moment. So picture yourselves as a host or a hostess entertaining guests. It could be a dinner party, could be evening cocktails, holiday, family, friends, doesn't make a bit of difference. So what I want to share is something that's a very simple application with this product. And something that we like to do quite a bit in Kohler is create pairings. And so what you have in front of you here are 2 of the different chocolates that we create as well as our brandy. So I'm going to ask you to start by taking our original buttery terrapin, so that's the signature piece that we have, it's the one with the pecan on the top, and then take a bite of it. So as you're taking a bite of it, I want you to note, well, first of all, it's a proprietary blend of milk chocolate, burnt smoky caramel, and then a hand-selected pecan. So notice the texture, notice the flavor, notice that it's just breaking down and melting in your mouth. And as you're finishing it and letting it cover your palate, go ahead and take a sip of the dark chocolate brandy, which is the one closest to your chair. Same thing, as you're bringing it to your nose, make sure that you're noticing, or your mouth, make sure you're noticing the nose on it. Let it cover your palate and really enhance the flavor of the dark chocolate. And hopefully what you're experiencing at this point is that it's not a sugary, it's not a sweet, it's not syrupy, it's not a liqueur, it's not a cordial. Just very simply, distinctively chocolate. And that was done intentionally. So if we're moving on, going on to the next piece, if you still have it in front of you, take the dark chocolate bar. So this is our savory 55% dark chocolate bar. Take a bite of it, and you should notice a quick, crisp snap. It's a sound of perfectly tempered dark chocolate. And same thing, as you're allowing the flavor to just break down and cover your palate in your mouth, take a sip of the chocolate mint brandy. You should notice cool, crisp, refreshing peppermint on the front end, and then it's like a liquid peppermint patty. I mean, it's unbelievable. I get excited about it all the time. But the point of this is such that, it's a very simple application. You have the ability to, as a host or a hostess, do something fun with your guests as they're coming over. I legitimately get yelled at by my friends if I don't have chocolate in my house with dark chocolate brandy when they come over. So with that having been said, if I'm bringing this to a close and I'm asking you to remember 3 things and 3 things only from this presentation, forgetting everything else that I had to say, it would be this. Number 1 is the Kohler brand. That guiding principle, knowing that everything we do is built upon a single level of quality. Number 2 would be the liquid. Noticing that it's very distinctly, very bold, rich in flavor, distinctly chocolate, and then cool, refreshing peppermint. And the last thing would be the simple application. Again, you have the ability to use it for entertaining, but you can enjoy it neat, you can enjoy it on the rocks, or mixed in your favorite cocktail.
Thank you, Gerald. Let's hear it for Gerald. Are you ready to hear from our judges?
Absolutely.
All right, judges, take it away.
So a couple of questions. First off, the packaging's great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Packaging's really great. My question would be, I'm familiar with Kohler. I've played at the course, and I live in Michigan during the summertime, and I winter in Florida. But how, of all the different spirit entries that you could figure out that you wanted to get into, and there is just a gazillion. I mean, how did you go down the decision tree and end up with that?
I'm glad you asked that question. It's something I really enjoy sharing. So I've had the benefit of being part of this project since its inception. So kind of going back to, if I'm talking through this, the diversification of Kohler's product portfolio. So you could literally furnish your entire home, inclusive of decoration, with Kohler product. So it just shows that we're through, touching everyone in multiple different ways. So my background is grocery. I grew up in the grocery business, second generation grocer. Happened to be managing a grocery store for Kohler at the time. And I received an email from Herb Kohler's desk saying, play with infused spirits and see what you come up with. So I mentioned in the beginning, we knew it had to be distinctive. We didn't know what we were doing in the beginning, and it was a matter of, I'm sitting in the back of a kitchen with a zester. We're doing herbs and spices and vegetables and fruits and anything you can possibly think of. And we tried every single spirits category with all the different flavor combinations. At one point, I joke I felt like a bootlegger because I had a Metro rack in the back of the store that was just filled with mason jars of different flavors, which, by the way, Herb Kohler tried every single one of them. Some were good, others were not. But then when we're walking down the categories and I'm looking at, well, again, what can we make that's distinctive? So I like to point out vodka, for instance. That's something that, it's a very crowded category. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's too much Me Too stuff here. There's every flavor you can think of vodka. And looking at the other categories, well, there really wasn't anything that was in the brandy category. And so again, we looked at trying the chocolates and making it as simple as we possibly could. And we landed on the simple ingredients of 72% dark chocolate mixed with the brandy. It popped as soon as we tried it. We said, that's it. That's the one.
I'm not sure you're going to get a lot of play with Kohler. It's like Ford Motor Company Rosé.
Yeah.
They don't tie into one another. And to Sid's point, it's a category that is so small right now. The after-drink category in an on-premise account is so small for concerns of DUI. That's one of the reasons. The cart doesn't come to your table anymore. Mm-hmm. It is absolutely delicious. I got to tell you got the liquid great. This is my favorite tasting of the morning because it had chocolate. It's awesome.
Yeah, me too.
The packaging is great, but the category, the mint flavor tastes just like an After Eight, the thing that they put on your tab when you leave. But I think you're putting a lot of effort into a category that doesn't have a ton of growth in it.
See, on the writer's side and all the trending reports that we're doing in the magazine and tasting panel, we're finding that brandy is a growing category, especially American brandy. And I think, the flavor is fantastic. But I think the brandy maybe build up the gravitas of having it as a brandy and a great product. And the packaging is beautiful, but it's definitely not for the millennial. Yeah. I mean, that's old school. So again, it kind of feeds into that brandy cognac category.
I want to circle back, though. You brought up a good point. The Kohler name. When I think of Kohler, I think of my, the toilet with the remote control, or, how are you going to...
I don't have a toilet with a remote
control. I don't have a toilet with a remote control.
They do in Japan. They do in Japan.
With a remote control?
Well, they make a great toilet. I mean, you make great bath products, great, faucets. Like you said, Ford Motor Company coming out with their own.
It's a disconnect for me too, and I think the package is nice, but I wonder. I'm having a really hard time reading that chocolate mint brandy, at least from here. And the Kohler pops out. I almost wish it was switched, so you downplay Kohler a little bit, and you pop up that chocolate mint brandy.
But Kohler has such a great reputation. Like I'm a fan of Kohler. I've been up to the golf course. So how do you use it to your advantage?
It's so funny. I agree with every one of these people, and thank God this isn't your business. That this is something that symbolizes Kohler. I don't think Kohler, I hope it isn't what they're basing their commercial future on, but it is a beautiful product. I think everyone is saying it is a beautiful product. It tastes delicious.
It does.
Yeah, I'm sure it profoundly means something to the family, but it will be a beautiful niche little thing. I think brandy is going to be a killer category, but this is something different. When I get brandy, I went to school in Wisconsin. What else would you use other than brandy? But I don't think it'll resonate.
But I will say, someone in the construction business, you associate Kohler with high quality.
Absolutely.
So if you can somehow, tap into or bridge that gap, I think people will automatically know that it's a high quality product.
And I agree that the brandy category is trending up, and I think there's lots of opportunity there. My only concern, and this was a fabulous tasting, is that you're not going to be able to have these wonderful chocolates when you introduce people to the brand all the time. And the product really is going to have to stand on itself. And I just don't know if you have a way of introducing the product without the chocolates to customers in on-premise accounts.
Isn't Kohler's print advertising campaign for their porcelain products the art of Kohler as well?
It's the bold look of Kohler.
The bold look of
The
Kohler.
bold look of Kohler.
That's where we come in.
What about high-end restroom, bathroom bars? Kohler with chocolates with the attendants that are in there. There you go. There's where you make the connection.
It's a beautiful product.
Yeah, it really is.
Congratulations.
Yes.
What's
It's a
the
beautiful
bottle?
All
product.
right. Thanks so much, Gerald. Thank you, judges.